hello Music Aboard, hello crew from Taylor. Thank you for having us here and
It's a pleasure.
trying to answer the most popular question at NAMM is what I heard. What's new, Taylor?
Yeah.
I would like to rephrase that after yesterday's pre-look. Why is it new? You bought a new series, why?
Okay. Well, one of the things that's most important to us is we want people to be playing music.
Yeah.
As a guitar player, as a musician, I've noticed the benefit it has in my life when I get to play music. I want that to be extended to other folks. You know, whether somebody's a complete novice, whether they're professional, it doesn't matter. Music is way too important to be left up to the professionals.
All right.
You know, music is an important part of life.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to do was build instruments that encourage music making. Okay? So we're trying to build some guitars that serve musicians well, even a person who is just being introduced to the instrument. They may not even know how to hold a guitar properly or things. So we built this new series of guitars that we're calling the Academy series, specifically to take down some of the barriers to entry that you'd see when a person first approaches playing an instrument.
Okay. So isn't Academy just covering half of the ground? I mean, it could be a working man's guitar as well.
Absolutely.
As a substitute or whatsoever. So
you know,
there's no downgrade as far as I understand, except some visual stuff on the guitar.
It's interesting because years ago I made a list of the qualities that I would want to see in the ideal first guitar.
Okay.
And they're relatively simple. The guitar has to be easy to hold. It has to be comfortable to hold physically.
Yeah.
It has to be comfortable to play. So very low action, short string length, makes the tension real low. It's real easy to fret. It has to sound good. It has to be easy to get a good sound out of it.
Right.
You know, you won't necessarily have the luxury of a knowledgeable player drawing sound out and working hard to get that good sound. It has to speak easily.
Yeah.
Okay. It has to be comfortable to play. It can't be too precious. It can't be too expensive. But in those ways, it has to serve a musician well. Now, what I find is that when we built these guitars specifically to address those characteristics, I mean, the bodies are relatively small. We have this armrest.
Yep.
We've literally simplified and distilled the guitar down to its bare essentials, so it's everything you need and nothing you don't. But like you said, it turns out those same qualities are what a professional musician or a serious recreational player can also benefit from. I mean, I've seen a lot of musicians who go to a gig and it's apparent, I mean, you see the car they drive up and you go, yeah, you don't have a whole lot to spend on a guitar.
Right.
But that shouldn't mean that somebody can't be playing music on a great instrument.
Definitely not.
That's not fair.
You can't judge from the instrument. It's still the player behind it.
Yeah, so those same characteristics, they make this a perfect first introduction instrument for somebody, but they also make it a great instrument for even a seasoned musician who doesn't have maybe the means for a many $1,000 guitar to play.
So how many varieties do you bring in the Academy series?
The Academy series, we're thinking of it as 3 specific models.
Okay.
They're available with or without a pickup.
Okay.
But I like to think of them as a guitar that you play with a pick, one that you play with fingers, and one with nylon strings.
Alrighty, fair.
Okay? For a more seasoned musician, it would be a steel string dreadnought, a curvier finger style, what we call a grand concert shaped body, and then there's the nylon string model.
Okay.
So it's those 3 models with our ES2 pickup and a very simple basic control package, just a volume and tone, but with a built-in tuner.
Okay.
So that's a real asset for somebody who's just, obviously just getting introduced to the instrument, as well as a stage performer who wants the convenience of an onboard tuner.
What do I lose if I play an Academy series guitar?
Some decoration.
Some decoration?
And that's about it. I mean, these are guitars that they're built, the reason that we can make them is we're marrying serious instrument design with modern manufacturing efficiency. So these guitars have solid mahogany neck, an ebony fingerboard, ebony bridge, solid top, And this is the full, highly engineered, super precise Taylor neck. It's always adjustable. You can, within minutes, fine-tune the neck angle. This is a guitar that could be a lifetime instrument for a person. It's built with every bit of the same attention to detail as our other instruments. Just many of the cosmetic details have been distilled away.
Okay. And what do I get more if I decide to take the next step and buy the next level up?
There's lots of other guitars.
Next level up?
Yeah, there's a lot of other guitars that give you maybe a more refined cosmetic package, more refined sonic fingerprint.
Okay.
You know, a more luxurious sound. These are designed to make a really good sound, but a relatively simple sound. So it's easy for a musician to pull a decent sound out of it.
Okay.
You know, with a more complicated sounding guitar, there's going to be some nuance in the touch of a player that can pull more from those designs, like an 814 or a 614 model.
Yeah, true. Guitar is like wood, neck, strings, anything specific you say?
These are a light gauge set of strings, and so it's a real comfortable, it serves a lot of musicians well.
Oh,
We're
okay.
using the Elixir strings on it, so they last a long time. You get a good life out of them.
Okay. You taking care when you kind of construct the package to take those things into consideration.
Absolutely.
And go ahead and say, dear customer, on this guitar we would recommend 13 to whatsoever. On this guitar, you're better off with a light one because it helps you playing whatsoever.
Exactly. And so oftentimes on a dreadnought-shaped guitar, I like setting them up with a medium set of strings because I like the voice that gives.
Okay.
But in this case, I'm looking for something that has a really soft, gentle hand feel. Maybe for a person who either likes bending strings, they need everything going for them.
Yeah.
Here's a great irony. A professional player can make almost any guitar work. They know how to get around. They'll just appreciate a good guitar more.
Yeah, of course.
But a person who's just starting kind of needs everything going for them. That's the time when they need the best playing guitar, the easiest to hold guitar, because it's new. That's when it's the most difficult.
Yeah, of course.
And so
if it's not easy enough, they're going to leave.
Exactly. And we want to encourage people playing music. In fact, that's why...
the small one.
Yeah.
I can tell you that that little bass is kind of a red line through our report that we're doing because yesterday evening my wingman, as I like to call him, said, that's one for me. So today we've been down at the Dario and they told us about these specially made strings for the bass to make it work. And now we come back to it again, so that's where I think in every video we made so far, this one is in there for.
Well, this is a real fun instrument. We've been working on it for a number of years now.
Yeah.
But the whole premise originally was almost like a challenge. Can we build a good bass instrument with the dimensions, the platform of a GS Mini guitar?
Right.
So this is the same scale length. It's very short. It's far too short for a bass guitar.
I have a bass ukulele. That's short.
That is very short. So what we were trying to do was build a bass that was comfortable for a guitar player to play. Something that you would have sitting at home making for when you make demos or playing on your couch or whatnot. And along the way, within this instrument's development, we realized, well, this is a real fresh voice for even a seasoned bass player.
Sure.
It's a different feel, a different voice, a different sound. And then past that, I had one at my house and I realized, man, even my own kids like playing this thing because it's so ergonomically friendly and has such a softness in these strings. It's so physically easy to hold and play that even my 6-year-old son can play notes on this.
It attracts people because it doesn't look like a massive big thing you can't handle.
Yeah, it's not intimidating.
It looks like, that will do.
It's easy to play. It's
Right.
fun to play. And so that's what makes this such a unique instrument is, it's got a fresh voice, but at the same time there's an immediate appeal of something so warm and friendly, so approachable.
What are we going to see on the upper end in the future? Is there different woods to be involved? Is there different ideas you have?
There are some different woods. There are some different models that we're working on. One of them, that's a left-handed version. We have a new model called the 800 Deluxe.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of years ago, we entirely retooled our flagship 800 series model.
Okay.
And over the course of this last year, I wanted to see if we could push that model even a little further.
Okay.
So it's the same basic guitar, but with Adirondack spruce for the bracing,
Okay.
upgraded tuners, but most significantly, it has a built-in armrest on the lower bow.
Okay.
Now, it's kind of an interesting thought, but when you consider an acoustic guitar, the guitar itself has no voice of its own. In the same way that my hands don't sound like anything.
Right.
It's the relationship of the instrument and the musician that makes sound.
And
Now,
it helps if the thing rings at least a little bit.
it does. But if you can make the guitar more comfortable to play,
Yeah.
more comfortable to hold, a musician tends to play better.
Yeah, because he's able to gain more experience from playing longer.
Yeah, you can gain more experience from playing longer, but just the very physical comfort, you have better dexterity, better agility. Your performance is enhanced because you're not struggling with the physical
Not limited. It helps you trying stuff.
Exactly. So what I find is that players with a guitar, when they play a guitar with an armrest, that additional comfort ends up making them sound a little better.
Okay.
So we're building that as a new model entirely. So you have the regular 800 series guitars, but now you have this entirely new 800 Deluxe that includes this built-in armrest.
And folks, for the encore, if you want to see what I did at NAMM show, come to www.musicaboard.de. If you want to see what they did in the meantime, go to Taylor Guitars.
TaylorGuitars.com.
Enjoy the rest of NAMM. Thank you. Thank you for the information. Thank you
my
for
pleasure.
hosting that here at the Taylor booth.
Thanks for coming to visit
And
us.
we're looking forward for the Monday tour at the factory. That's
That'll
gonna
be
fun.
great.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.